Yeah. All praise Yahweh by Shema Shai. We're going to try to do this again. This is round two. All right. Everyday Hebrews highlights astronomy. Let's get to it. Check, check. All right. Make sure my sound is good. I got to keep my volume down. All right. It's kind of hard to do, man. We was reading about that word zeal earlier. Let's jump right back into it. We had our brother Iquab that was on with us. All right. Call me Australia. Yabra come here. Basham Mashiach Hawashai. All right. Let's get to it. This website is one I like to visit regularly. It's called an Astronomer's Great Library. All right. An Astronomer's Great Library. We'll make that a full screen. We'll take this and copy it if you all want to check it out for yourselves. All right. Ambience, background videos, noise, sounds, things like that. Change the environment, the atmosphere, things of the such. And I like to share. So here you go. All right, so let's get right into it. All praise Yahweh by Shema Shagal Shai. All right, so we're going to do a redo of earlier's video. All right, where we were hoping and attempting to get into astronomy and break down some of these elements that we see before us that's in the scriptures. All right, and one of these elements that we see before us that's in the scriptures are the constellations. Not only the constellations, we want to look at what is beyond the constellations. Let's look at our atmosphere. Let's look at our environment. Let's look at, those things that are directly around us. And I want to talk to and encourage our people to start studying that, looking and reading early church fathers' writings. Okay. Some people are afraid to study early church fathers' writings. I am not. Okay. I am not. And I have my reasons behind it. You know, if anybody would like to know, just ask me. All right. We have this thing in our Israelite community to where saying a person is considered off if they say the opposite of what other people say. All right. Well, let me pause this real quick. I want to change this audio. I am one of those people who have been considered and called off, and I'm just not afraid of the judgments. I'm not afraid of the perspective of people, especially when the people uh, are the same ones that are looking for answers but not producing answers. So with that being said, I'm going to read to you if you choose to from certain literatures. Also, we showed earlier with our brother Iquab when he was on. Thank you, Iquab, once again for rocking with us. That the name Yahweh Shai is in the Old Testament. Okay, so these documents are here for us to study to learn. All right, and I don't know how to get around them anymore. So what I just do is just say what people don't say, regardless of if how people feel about it or not. Right now, we're in the book of, I believe this is let me make sure this is second. Let's see, we're in verse 30. Yeah, Second Kings. All right. So we're in Second Kings, all right, 17, 18. And let's go back down. That's 30. So look at this real quick. So before we get into science and astronomy, we're in the library. So I just want to share a few things from the library. Now, watch this. In Second Kings, we see this is what's quoted right here, verse 5. He trusted in, and this says by Yahweh, by Yahweh. This says the Elohim of Israel, so that after him was none like him among all the kings of Judah, nor among them that were before him. Verse 6. For he held a fast by Yahweh. That means in Yahweh. So in the King James is going to read differently, right? But what we're doing is we're reading from a text called the Aleph Tav. Aleph Tav is also known as the sacred text. And what it does is it breaks down the different places where Yahweh's name is worded, but not as just Lord and God. And if you would like to purchase that text, I can help you with that. All right. I can't sell it to you because I don't own it. But what I can do is share the library and you can buy this book yourself also. Now, when my family came across and purchased this book, it was probably about maybe 20 bucks. I'm going to say maybe 20 bucks. All right. But if you want to purchase it now, as you see, you're going to pay, it's not a steep price, but you're going to pay the price. The scripture says what? Buy the truth and sell it not. Buy the truth and sell it not. All right. So let me copy this link for you. And I'm going to put it right up in the room so you'll be able to see it for yourself. Not only will you be able to see it for yourself. Yo, shalom, shalom, shalom. Yabarakaya bashamashagasha. Man, appreciate you, great beloved saint. It's been a busy day, man. So I'm gonna try to get through this while your nieces, all right, are resting. All right. That's so hard, man. Shalom lakar. Gadawal. That man said Gadawal. Shalom lakar, Gadawal. All right. Peace and blessings to you too, Saint. May the Most High bless you as you bless others. And salute to our brother Katharia. He's always working very hard to get the community, the people, to see, learn, and hear what we call the Torah portion. All right. So it's not anything that we made up, but it's something that the Most High taught. Let's get straight to the meat of this. All right, as they say. All right, let's spit out the bones and let's ingest the meat. Okay. So straight to the scriptures. All right, we're going to go to that's where you can purchase the book from. Let's go straight to our reading. And let's start with text, Google Books. All right. And keep in mind, all of these you can get online for free for yourself. Now, if you want to purchase them, that's completely fine. All right. Now, here, let me show you all. All right. Let me show you all. We're on page 504. All right, so we're going back to page 514, excuse me, 514. And we're reading from what's called Pliny the Elder. I believe we're in Pliny the Elder. Let me make sure. All right. I got a few of them pulled up. Dead Sea Scrolls, all praise. So Dead Sea Scrolls. All right, so let's go down. 114. All right, we'll go to page 114. All right, so you should be able to see the screen share without any interruptions. And again, we're going to try to get through it as quick and precise as possible. Oh, man, massive document. Hold on. All right. Words of the luminaries. All right, so here we are. So we're in our section outside. That's 114. All right, so when you get to the Dead Sea Scrolls, you're going to see what's called what you'll see the government doing today is redacted, okay, redacted documents and or phrases. And what redacted means is the information has been taken out. Okay, Song of the Shabbat sacrifice. All right. So the information has been taken out, but it's because partially the fragments were so dismembered, they were so destroyed that they couldn't be put back together. So you'll see there's going to be sections where there'll be dashes and dots. Those sections I won't be able to read for you, unfortunately. All right. So, and the reason being is because, like we said, there's going to be dashes and dots because it's showing you this section is missing. All right. So let's do this part right here. So as you can see, our section is called Astronomical Text, Calendars, and Horoscopes, right? So don't be afraid of the phrase horoscopes. You don't want to be involved in Scientology. You don't want to be involved in Seventh-day Adventists. You don't want to be involved in these different religions that, they try to make the truth of Yahweh cohesive for their own religions. You don't want to be involved in those things. Stay with the Torah. And if you are in those things, come out of those things and stick to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so this is fragment 1, column 3. And this is 1 through 3. And it says dash, right? And it's in parentheses because fragment 1 through 3 is either so destroyed in the Dead Sea Scrolls that you can't understand it. Now, if you are reading from the book of Enoch, from the book of Jubilees, from the book of, those two specifically, and if you're going through them, you're like, hey, I just really want to see what's the spectrum, what can I get out of this? It's going to be hard for you to do if you don't understand that the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees are not the Hebrew versions of them that people commonly have. So, and the ones that people commonly have are not the Hebrew versions of them. So listen, when you see the dots and dash, that's where the words have been redacted because there has been a lack of the information actually being there. Okay. Now, whether it be from weather torn or time, those are the two main factors because when it comes to the Dead Sea Scrolls, they were found inside jars and they were preserved. So let's read this. So this is what you'll get out of fragment 1, column 3. All right. 1 through 3, verse 1 through 3 is gone, redacted, it's gone, right? It's not there. On the 5th 14, looks like the missing redacted. I'm just gonna say redacted, and on the same day redacted, only in that night of redacted, the third of the ninth part and 5 redacted, and the 10th of the ninth part blank redacted, 7th redacted, redacted. Now, when reading it, you're going to say, I didn't get that. Of course you didn't get it. Of course you didn't. It's not possible for us to. So that's why when you see people that have these 1,000 pages book of Enochs and they've got their head all up high, it's like, fam, you're not reading the Hebrew version of the book of Enoch, because in the Qumran cave, it says 4 Qumran. This is fragment 211, right? 4 and there's the location of where it was found. All right, fragment 1, column I. See, verse 1 through verse 2 is missing. Then it finally gets the end of it. Wood, and it is winter. The leaves of the trees turn white and fall, except for the 14th 4, and then it says, look like it says 14 trees in which redacted does not appear redacted, their leaves remain, right? So now that you see what you'll be running into, now let's read some complete paragraphs, okay? Because what you're seeing is this is Enoch. So when people are, they got the whole, look, you see it right there, it says Enoch. See? So when people are reading, and they're trying to teach you or quote from Enoch, and they don't understand, like, bro, you're reading from an Ethiopian / Roman Catholic conglomeration of what's been put together, and that's cool. No, nothing against it. So we don't want to tell people not to, because we don't want to discourage them. But what we want to tell them is, if you do decide to, you need to know when reading from the book of Enoch what you're actually reading. What's its validity? Does it serve a purpose for actually helping and showing you how to grow and develop? And can you validate it? The answers to questions are no. You can't validate it. That's it. All right. Now I want to show you something in this real quick, and this is going to help to prove my point with talking about the book of Enoch. As we go down, I'm not coming against it. I just want to show you all it's better to read the Dead Sea Scrolls. Read the Dead Sea Scrolls. Look at this, because you don't want to invest in something and it's like, oh man, why even buy that? Right? This is where people talk about counsel, right? Okay. Unfortunately, these texts have reached us in an extremely fragmented condition, and most of them have not yet been published. So how are people going through the entire book of Enoch? How? Because they say it's Ethiopian, because you've seen some TikTok, Instagram videos, and the Instagram, TikTok videos say the most complete version of the Bible, and now Negroes is going against the 1611 King James because TikTok, Instagram. You got to read. In the first section, there are 3 of the 4 exemplars of the composition known as astronomical Enoch. An Aramaic work. So there's our validation, right? Not Ethiopian, not Roman Catholic. Here, let me show you something real quick. And we're not done with astronomy, astrology. We're not done with astronomy. Okay. I don't think, I know I got way too many windows open. I'm slowing down my computer. There's just so much information that I want to share though. All right. So let's bring it down a notch. I'm going to slow that one down. All right. King Solomon. All right. So let's go here. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Now let's see what Wisdom of Solomon teaches us from the writings of goes back to the wisdom of Solomon. Okay. But let's see what it says. That's the Song of Solomon. We don't want that. We want Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Why does that say Christmas Solomon? That's not what we want. We want, because I said wisdom. Okay. All right. We want Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. And you can find this in your mama's Bible. Okay. This is in your daddy's Bible. This is in every Bible that has a 1611, or at least an apocryphal section in it. For those of you who are knowledgeable and assert to read the heart of writings, I'm talking to you. Now, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. And you all can be like this. Once I learned this, once Mazaquan showed me this, I was like, I can be like this? Yeah. Look at this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 15. Allahayim, Elohim, Allahaya, God, granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as it is meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom and directeth the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. For he hath given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, the operation of the elements. Everybody see that? So we all know that King Solomon was not a namby-pamby when it came to wisdom. Now, when it came to his decision making towards his sexual engagements, that's a whole nother story. All right. He gave himself over to the idols of the land, of the women who he loved. And that's what's caused him to fall. I could go to the book, but I don't want to take anybody away from anything. King Solomon worshiped other idols and the people's idols of the lands. He married other nations of the lands, and he clave unto them, and he loved them. Don't just focus on he married them, because I don't want to get into the marriage part and laws. And if thou find a maiden of the other nations, and there she'll be going unto her and cleave and cut her hair and nail. I don't want to do all that. I just want to stick to this. King Solomon knew the operations of the world, what Mahar could say of the worlds, right? Of the worlds, Mahar. So King Solomon knew these things, but not only did he know them for us, he knew them to write them down for the future generations. We're only passers-by. All right, we're going to go to a specific book, and the book is going to be called St. John of Damascus. So let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's go ahead and pull it up without any further ado. Okay, let's go to what page are we on? Boom. All right. So you can look this up for yourself. This is Pliny the Elder, Natural History. And then you just go to page 104. The homework has already been done for you. When you go to Pliny the Elder, go to book number 2 when you want to learn about astronomy and astronomy. You want to learn if the earth is round, flat, or sphere instead of arguing, people debating, learn for yourself and read for yourself. Go and pick up a book. Don't argue with Hebrew Israelites. They're not here to learn. Some of them are here to cause confusion. They're agents of confusion. You know how I know? Because they constantly cause confusion opposed to teaching. They have the ability to. They know how to teach whenever they want to argue their point, whenever they want to, air quote, get in their bags. But when it comes to teaching other people, they don't want to. This goes for women and men. So you can say, show yourselves approved. They can quote the scripture, but they won't do it. Pliny the Elder, Natural History 104, if you want to learn about the earth, moon, solar, information, all of these things that I talk about. I'm not randomly saying stuff. St. John of Damascus, book number 2, chapter 7, Light, Fire, Stars, Luminaries. Oh, I think we already have that pulled up. Oh, we already have it pulled up. Look, we already have it pulled up. Okay, all right, okay. All right, so with this website, we're going to read St. John of Damascus, book number 2, chapter 7, Light, Fire, Stars, Luminaries. You can find this website, not just this website. This is my first time using this website. You can find this document right here online, all right, for free of charge. Don't spend your money and not spend your time investing in your books. Don't do that, especially when you can get them online. Now, New Advent, this is a website that I do like to use. I like the font style. I like the size. I like the way it's put together. So I like to use New Advent. And, so you know what? Let's go ahead and use this one because I like it. All right, boom. All right. And since we know where we're going, all right, we don't need any tracers. All right. So we're going to close that window down. And bear with me as we open up this one. So St. John of Damascus, book number 2, Light, Fire, Stars, Luminaries, right? If you want to learn, go and ask the elders. If your elders won't talk to you or won't answer you or ignore you or call you a harlot or a whore or you're a bastard child or you're embarrassing us, if your elders are people who instead of gathering you will send you away. They scatter the flock. That's what Jeremiah chapter 23 say. I just watch him do it. See, I learned the scriptures. I know the scriptures, then I watch who violates on the set. I watch who violates on the set. So if they won't do that, you have to go and do it for yourselves. Study to show yourselves approved. All right. So let's get into this reading real quick. All right. We're going to pause our audio, which we have our ambience in the background. If you can see that for yourself, you should be thoroughly amazed. If you've read any words of that, you should be thoroughly amazed. You know why? Because you're seeing something new. Okay? Don't let the iconoclasm and the white pictures and all, and don't let that fool you. Look at this. Concerning things utterable and things unutterable, and things knowable and things unknowable. We can talk about it, but the reality of it is, I get to see what my elders was saying. I get to see what other brothers say. Oh yeah, man, they sacrificed lamb Jew, bro. They did you like they did your elder. I get to see why. Because the information is all here, and it's like, what's the hard part about going through and reading it? If you really have questions and concerns about, was Miriam Bathwala, was she a virgin, or was she a not? What's it? Nair? Is it Nair? Whether she was that or whether she wasn't that, you can find it if you just pick up a book where they say reading rainbow. All right, so let's go back to this. All right, book number 2. We're in added him. We're in book 1, but I want us to go to book 2. Let's go to the exposition, and then from exposition, we're going to go to book number 2. From book number 2, it says concerning an eon or an age. So when people talk to me, and I'm talking to them about the firmament, and I'm talking about, let's say, what is it called? Ether. Like, people don't know when he did that song. Like, I can't tell you about Nas's music, but I can tell you about ether. I can tell you what ether really is, and I can show you how to find it for yourself. That's the coolest part. I don't want to hoard the information. I want to show you how to get it. All right. I'm a truth whistleblower. Okay. Watch this. Let's go down to let's scroll down a little bit. These are things that King Solomon knew. All right, I'm not going to read the entire part. I'm only going to read sections. If you are Israelite and you like astronomy, astrology, if you like astronomy, then this is for you. If you're not, I have no bad feelings about you not being here, but I would encourage you to at least learn so you can teach somebody else and then act like you came up with it yourself. That'd be great. St. John of Damascus, book number 2, chapter 7, light 5 stars, luminaries. On these luminaries, the Creator bestowed the first created light. Let me explain. Light is not the same as a light bulb. The sun is not a light. The moon is not a light. Even though we go to the scriptures, the Most High say he's created 2 lesser lights. It doesn't mean that those items are the actual lights. They are lesser volumes of what the element light is itself. In the beginning, the Most High, he said, let there be what? A water. A water. He said, let there be light. He didn't say, let there be a sun to produce light. You get it now? So he made light, and then he made vessels for containing lights, which is why a light bulb is a vessel for containing light. It is not light itself. The moon is not light itself. It's a vessel for containing and refracting. I should have said refract. It's a vessel for containing and refracting light back. It is not a light itself. So when you read what our early church fathers said, oh, salute how I blessed that the elders didn't communicate with me, and I got to go and spend time with my true elders. On these luminaries, see, the moon is a luminary. The sun is a luminary itself. And then you have a separate item, which is called light. Is anybody waking up? Not because he was in need of other light, because he already had one substance. It's called a water. It's called light. Stay right there. Don't move. If you're not flinchy or finicky, you will get something out of this. This is fun. Wisdom is fun. A wise man's fun is being wise. A foolish man's fun is being foolish. You can listen to the music that they listen to and be like, that's what's really inside you. Bro, you don't listen to no righteous music. You listen to trash. Sister, you don't listen to no righteous music. You listen to trash. So when you're trying to talk scripture to me, I understand it's not really in you. You ain't really cut like that. Not yet. Not yet, you not. Let me show this page real quick. All right. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 1. And the objective, the point of saying is to say, study to show yourself approved and stop acting like it. You can fake being a fool, but a foolish man can't fake being wise. A foolish woman can't fake being chaste and modest, but a modest woman, she can fake being not chaste. She know the tactics. A woman that's not chaste, she can't be a real virtuous woman. She fake. So study to show yourself approved, and the truth will show it'll come out. What's in a man's heart will come out of his mouth. Let's get Genesis chapter 1 real quick. And I know for a fact I got way too many windows open. So let me close a few windows down because there's so much I need to share. I need like two computers hooked up to be able to do this. I need like two computers hooked up in a quiet room. All right. So, but Yahweh's doing it. That's what he's in the process of doing now. It's just about enduring. You're endured to the end. Okay. So I want to get Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, but uh, the screen is freezing up because like I said, I got way too many windows open. I hope it don't crash. All right. I hope it don't crash. My brain is moving faster than the computer. All right. What they say, the brain is a supercomputer. Come on, Paige. I just need the lobes frozen. Dios mío. Wait, ideal. That's only one, right? Ideal meals. Is that it? All right. It's all my Spanish speakers. All right. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Father. Okay, thank you, Father. Okay, so all right, so my screen finally clicked back here. All right, so light being an element of itself. I wanted to go to Genesis chapter 1 and show in the beginning, right? And then we were going to go to Genesis chapter 1 and we were going to show, and he said, let there be light. But if I do that, I'm afraid that, you know what I'm saying, I might jam up the process. So let's see. I'll try to close a few windows down. All right. So when he says, let there be light, this word light that's there in Hebrew is the word awar. The word awar is the word for, an different element. It's not the same element. Light is not the same element as, what do we say? Like if you say happy new moon, you say chadash shalom. So when you're debating or you're going back and forth with somebody and they might be arguing their point about the light and the moon and the sun being a great light and the moon is a less light, you just got to be able to explain to them, yes, don't disagree with them. Tell them, yes, you're right. Because the sun is, and they might put their hands up like they won the great victory, they won the great battle. All right. Once again, you're off. You're the one who don't know what you're talking about. But in you agreeing with them, what you're actually doing is you're quelling them, you're calming them, you're stoking the fire, you're spitting on the issue. If you blow on it, it's going to spark up. And sometimes you can't calm people down. So you just got to take the high road. You let them abuse you and you move on. They might think about it later. They might not. That's not the point. The point is this right here. Bring an understanding to the people. That's what's more profitable. So when they say the sun is a great light, the moon is a less light, don't disagree with them because it is. And then you explain to them that light itself is a separate element and that the sun and the moon are only glasses of jars. They're just jars. They're mason jars. That's it. What do you mean they're mason jars, bro? What do you mean? You got a brother going off. Now he's saying that no, I'm not saying that they're literal mason jars. I'm saying that they're vessels that are meant for containing lights. Luminaries are meant for containing lights. They're not lights themselves. Now let's read a little bit on that just so you can have some understanding. Fire is one of these four elements, light and water, with a greater tendency to ascend than others. Excuse me, light and with a greater tendency to ascend than others. In other words, fire goes up. Fire is one of the four elements. It's also light, right? And it has a greater tendency. Water doesn't flow up all the time. There are some places where water does flow up, though. But it's unnatural to visually see water go up unless you're seeing the evaporation process happen. People forget about school. I can't argue with TikTok scholars. I can't. I can't argue with over opinionated people. I can't. Water and the evaporation process, you'll see go up. There's some place in the world where water does go reverse, but fire is always lighter and has a tendency to ascend than the other elements. It has the power of burning and also of giving light, and that was made by the Creator on the first day. For the divine scripture says, and he said, let there be light, and there was light. That's Genesis 1 3. Fire is not a different thing from what light is, as some maintain. Others again hold that fire, that this fire of the universe is above the air, is called what? Nah said, I will not lose. Burn through your soul like ether. Burn through your soul like ether. And people didn't understand the concept. See, I can't tell you about Nas's bars. I'm not a hip hop head. I'm not. I can rock with it. I can be like, yo, that's fire. That's dope. I get that. I understand the concept. I am an apocryphile. Don't get the game twisted. I am an apocryphile. I can tell you what ether is. And now that you've heard it, maybe that song will have more validity to you. Others again hold that this fire of the universe is above the air and call it ether. In the beginning, then, that is to say, on the first day, Elohim, Elohim, because in Hebrew it doesn't say Yahweh. In Hebrew it says Elohim, which is multiple powers, baby. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and the spirit of wisdom was there too. Isn't that interesting? And then if you want to read more on that, all you have to do is go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and wisdom was there in the beginning. Wisdom of